Hi, it's Jane, and on today's WOTWIP and Coffee, and I have iced coffee today. Can talk a little bit about change of plans. Do you guys ever get so invested in a pattern that you really want to work on it? You do it, and you realize you're going to have to change your plans. My goal for all those blues was to do this pattern, which is called It's Simply Stripes. It's Take a Trip Without Leaving Home when you stitch this French country pattern. I have tried it 4 times, and every time the count is wrong. When they have you do certain things in the pattern, to pull up stitches, whatnot, the count doesn't come out correct. So I'm putting it on the wayside. I'm looking for the errata to see if there are some mistakes in the pattern. And so instead I'm just going to do that, this is a red heart pattern, romantic ripple romance. So I'm going to just use all the different blues and that soft, gentle white with it to see where we go. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. Sorry, folks. I'm waiting on information for a home sleep study. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. That was my change of plan. And sometimes you just have to do that and move on. So that's what I'm doing. I'm moving on. Moving on to the next thing. I've gotten all of my yarns into the garage. Nice and neatly stacked. I think I have 2 or 3 more totes in here to go through. And then I'll start pulling some of those that I can reach easily, and we'll go through some of those totes. What I'll do is I'll pull all of them, which will be a whole lot easier, and get ready to do that. I think our world has gone nuts. I really do. Just the things that we're seeing, the things in Britain. I mean, it's crazy over there. If you make a comment about any kind of comment that is termed racial or politically incorrect, the police will come and arrest you. I was reading where a gentleman had simply stated, I believe it was on Facebook, where he had stated that he thought it was wrong that the illegal, calling for legal aliens there in Britain to stop stabbing and killing and raping children, to just stop it. So he is now being charged for some crimes for just speaking his mind about that. Because for some reason they are protecting Islamic people. That's when it's gone wrong. And I don't know if you know it or not, but there was a group of some of the illegal aliens who are of Islamic descent who are going through beating up people, stabbing them, taking swords, hammers, machetes, whatever they can find, knives, and attacking people. People who accepted them into their country. So, and now they're asking for that to stop. And their government is protecting these. That, I hope things calm down around the world, period. But I don't see that happening. So, yeah. It's just nuts. That's all it is. Nuts. Things that we deal with, on a daily basis, those kind of things. And it's happening all over the world. Seems like it's gone from one extreme to the other. I had someone tell me once that we're letting the minorities rule and make decisions for us when it shouldn't be that way at all. But I don't know. Just find it rather interesting. In our area, I thought I would talk about little things that are going on. We're getting a lot of rain from Debbie, Hurricane Debbie, or has she been downgraded to a tropical storm? I don't remember. But I did think it was funny because I was in a Bible study and they were talking about the meanings of names, and that the meaning of the name Deborah means bee, as in a bumblebee, bee. And I started laughing because I thought, well, that's about right. My older sister's name is Debbie, and she was always a bee, getting into this, getting into that, doing all kinds of things, flitting from one thing to another. So, yeah, I understand that. I think that's interesting. Now, we were using it in a different context. We're studying Deborah, and basically warrior women, and or women warriors, whatever you want to call it, in the Bible. And it's just interesting to see that was the meaning for Deborah. And boy, it seems this Debbie's coming in with a pack, doesn't it? Saw the flooding in Fort Myers. Saw the flooding in Florida. Hope everybody there is safe and sound and dry. We're expected to get, I think, 5 to 7 inches of rain tomorrow. No, today. Sometime today. Hadn't started yet, so. Right now we got a little lull in the rain, and that's been good. Not lull enough, if you ask me. I'd like a couple days in between. That bamboo is just going nuts. So can't wait to get out there. And of course, I'd like to be able to spray pesticides on that cut bamboo to hopefully kill some of it off, a little bit each time, and to kill the barnyard grass. But we're not expected to be dry for a couple of days, so I'll have to wait until we get a dry spell. Because you can't spray that stuff out there unless you have 1 to 2 hours of no rain, because it basically just washes it away. Doesn't give it a chance to get absorbed by the plants, so that they can take it to the roots and die. So, that's just a thrill a minute, waiting for that dry spell. I've been watching all of the Boggy Creek Blanket Brigade drives. I was noticing, I think it was last night's, where, I watched it this morning after I got up and took the garbage out. our garbage comes at 6 o'clock in the morning, between 6 and 6:20. So you have to get it out there pretty early. And so I was watching the replay of it. And I had noticed where Laura of Mad Mimi's Farming and Crochet did a quadruple, triple challenge to everyone to make one Boggy Creek blanket and send it in. Hopefully, most of you that do this kind of thing would be interested in at least sending one blanket. I'm working on sending in a couple. I have a couple planned. Just haven't gotten to them yet. And, in between the moving business and whatnot, possibly moving, not yet. House hasn't sold, still waiting on that. And looking. I'm not seeing anything that I'm really too thrilled about yet, but who knows, maybe something will come along. That I just happen to fall in love with. At least that's what I'm hoping. So, what are you doing these days? Do you have things planned out in advance, what you plan to do? Or do you just plan things as you go? I used to be one of those that I would just plan things out as I went, but then I decided, no, I need to plan things out a little bit better in the way that I'm doing things. So I've started doing that more so now than ever. But I always find it interesting. Planning takes more than you think it does. You really have to stop and think, what pattern am I using? Am I using a pattern? Am I just going to go wing it? Do I have enough yarn for that project? Can I mix yarns? Can I not mix yarns? Get into the whole business. Planning. That's an interesting word. And then sometimes things happen and you get into this, I got to get this done. Like I spent and did the baby hats for the baseball. Need to get those over to their place. But I spent one full afternoon doing that. Just getting those done, getting it all taken care of. I do have more white hats sitting back there that I could do, but I'm not going to. This year, I'm setting those aside, and I will be decorating those for different seasons of the year to turn over to the nursery. So, that's kind of what I'm doing now. I am waiting to get scheduled for a sleep study. My doctor wanted to redo a sleep study. I have not had one done since maybe 2007. So she wants a repeat to that. See how things are going there. Make sure that I'm not stopping, breathing in my sleep. Mainly because I'm tired all the time. And, when I answered all those questions, I scored pretty high on the needing a sleep study. The one question I thought was interesting is she had asked about when you're in a car riding as the passengers, do you fall asleep easily? I could sleep the whole trip in a car if the only time I had to wake up was to eat lunch and stop when we go to the bathroom. Yeah, I could sleep the entire trip that way in a car, which I thought that was an interesting question. Now, I don't fall asleep when I'm driving, but I do a lot of things sometimes when I feel like I'm sleepy, when I'm driving to make sure that I don't fall asleep. All those silly tricks that you do. Rolling the window down, rolling it up, turn the heat on, turn the cold on, that kind of stuff. No, I didn't do that. Generally, when I'm driving, I don't have a problem with wanting to go to sleep, so. But riding in a car, yep. If I'm sitting still doing nothing, I can fall asleep easily. That kind of thing. So, probably is a good time to do another sleep study. The first sleep study that I had done was done at Geisinger in Danville, and this is in Pennsylvania. And when we went up into the room, I thought it was going to be like my sister-in-law had described her sleep study, and hers was done at Chapel Hill. It's where you walked into a room and the doors shut behind you, like, they kind of sealed you, sliding doors. It's very quiet in there. The bed was comfortable. There was no extraneous noise coming in. When I had my sleep study, my room was just outside the helipad for a life flight. I heard it come in 4 times that night. The girl that was manning all the stuff, she had a cold. I could hear her coughing all night. She kept slamming doors. I think I fell asleep maybe once. But then was in what I call twilight sleep, where I'm not really sleeping. I've just got my eyes closed. The bed was uncomfortable as all get out. They had one of those rubber egg grates on it. Not only was it hot, but they're uncomfortable. She made me sleep on my back. I don't sleep on my back. So, yeah, it's really uncomfortable. So, out of that, they determined I don't get restorative sleep. And I complained to the doctor about the whole thing. I told him about everything. He said, why don't you get restorative sleep? I said, how could you with the helipad, right next to the window and her coughing her head off all night and slamming doors? I don't know how anybody could get any sleep. That right there should have qualified for another sleep study. But of course he didn't. He got mad and, well, you just don't get restorative sleep. Okay, fine. I don't get restorative sleep. Whatever. But this one will be done at home. So, I would expect that it'll go a little bit better. And maybe you'll find out after I do have sleep apnea or not. Hopefully I don't. I don't think I do. But then again, the cats walk on me all the time during the night. Several times a night they'll walk on me, walk on my body. And I kind of joked with the doctor. I said, maybe they're walking on me to get me to breathe. Who knows? And I know I do snore. And I do. Sometimes I can snore like a freight train. There are times when I'm sleeping, I wake myself up snoring. I don't know about you, but then when I wake myself up snoring, I'm embarrassed by it. And there's a part of me that goes, why am I embarrassed about my own snoring? Who knows what goes through our minds, right? But yeah. So sleep study is in the works for that. Managed to go through almost everything in the garage. I do have, I believe, 4 more boxes to go through. And I plan on getting those done between today and Saturday so that I can get that all finished and squared away and done with. It is time to do that, to get it all finished and ready to move on. And yeah. And count this. I did not get Tunisian Tuesday filmed, and I don't know that I will get it filmed. I am trying to work on the shawl that I was doing, the shawl along, trying to get that filmed. Had some issues with some batteries on the camera. Didn't realize that they needed to be charged, and so I've got to get those charged so I can get the camera working correctly. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm sitting at. I'm ready to film another round of shout outs. Some of these channels are awful cute. And sometimes I wonder how they pop up in my feed, you know? But it's interesting to see how they do pop up every once in a while. I am cutting bags this weekend to sew next week. I did get more of what I call that fairy cat fabric. So I am cutting a bag out of it. Hang on. Do you ever get these strange texts? I've got one from Zip Legal. Review my injury accident so we can go over case notes. I mean, I never even filed for anything like that. And then I wonder, do they have, when you go in to block them on your phone, to block the caller, how many times, do they limit how many people you can block? Because these days, with the with everybody selling your information, you'd be blocking everything for everybody. Crazy. We have in our community, we have what's called a floating stage, where they do concerts every Sunday evening at the river. And the river, with all the rain that we've been getting, is getting too high, so they removed the floating dock because of that. And I didn't realize that they ever removed the floating dock. I thought they always kept it in. I guess they're thinking they may need to put the channel locks back up because of the rain flow. I haven't heard anything more about that, if they're going to or not. But I guess the rain has been, pretty severe most places. And it's severe here too as well. And I know a lot of us are pretty sick of it. I know I'm sick of the rain. I don't know why the phone's got to go crazy when I'm sitting here talking. But it is. And it's going to be one of those days, I think, where it's going to just be rather annoying. Constantly going off and whatnot. So, there are times that I think the worst thing I could have ever done was get a cell phone. It almost becomes an idol, But then again, some of the good things about having a cell phone is you can call for help at a moment's notice with it there. Check the weather. People can get in contact with you almost immediately. Persistently. Isn't that the way that it goes? Persistently. Definitely. Persistently. So, yeah. Cats have been rather interesting. I found out why they kept going to the door. They would go and stand by the front door and just stand there. And then every once in a while, they would go up on their hind legs, like they're trying to look out the door window. They can't reach the door window. But, I happened to notice out there, heard something one day. Thought, let me go see what's going on. Robins built another nest up there. So, and I knock the nest down each time after they're finished. Once the babies leave, there is this thought here that the birds will not reuse a nest. Well, that's sort of true. What I have seen what they do here is they will pick some of it apart and then they will rebuild most of it. So I don't know if that's like what I would consider rebuilding a full nest. They started with the bare bones and then worked their way up. So yeah. Excuse me. See? I'm sleepy and I don't even know why. It's not like I've had a full day of anything. I think the camera cut off automatically. I was saying I wish this sleepiness would go away. I had a friend tell me, well, that's just because you're getting old. You know, as you get older, you get sleepier. Like, really? I have friends who are 93. I don't think they ever nap. I'm sure they do, but I don't think they do. So I don't know how you can consider that. And yeah, just kind of going through life these days. Can't do anything but. Have to move on as best we can, right? I don't know if you've been watching Rose with the wings videos. She talks about that her wings videos don't get much watch time. And I don't know why they don't. I love seeing what other people are doing. And right now they're doing the boys and girls toys, doing the doll clothes. Oh my goodness, some of those are amazing. So yeah, if you have a chance, go watch Rose. Rose likes crochet. Check out some of those wings videos. Those videos will give you ideas to make all kinds of gifts for the little ones in your lives. Yeah, I think it's interesting. All the different ways people put yarn together with these doll clothes, and they all look very different. Beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. Those kids are going to have so much fun with those clothes. So, check it out. And I'm kind of like Rose. I wouldn't mind having a kid to play with, put the clothes on, the doll clothes. But, yeah, go watch her wings video. Give it an opportunity. Well, guys, I think I have chatted long enough. My voice is starting to go. So, I'm going to let you go for now. And just remember, let's be a little kinder to each other. Don't let the donkeys and the elephants make us enemies out of each other. Okay? And I'll see you again soon. Bye.